and the graduating class of 2015. It is an honor to be asked to be your student speaker here today. But look, I'm not going to be funny. I know you all elected me for that, but unfortunately, during my preparation for this speech, I found that my typical biting sarcasm has been replaced with actual affection for you people, which is annoying, but I'm going to roll with it. Now, even with these newfound feelings, this final assignment of law school has proved quite the challenge. I have 4 minutes to give meaning to our vastly different experiences here at Oregon, and then to impart some brilliant wisdom onto all of you as to how to go out and change the world. I think we can all be honest and decide that I'm underqualified to give wisdom on how to change the world, as I forget to change the Brita filter. So, I'm going to hope that one of our more accomplished speakers will offer you all advice on how to be a success. I'm just going to talk about the ways I think you already are. Let's go back about 3.5 years. The country had pretty much decided law school was a bad idea. A prominent law school in Chicago was being sued by its graduates for lack of employment possibilities. The New York Times had just published an article entitled, "Is Law School a Losing Game?" And they said yes. And as a result, the number of people taking the LSAT, the law school entrance exam, had hit a 10-year low. Which makes sense, because when there are articles all over the internet saying that law school is a bad investment and showing it in numbers, who would go to law school? And it's not just because we're all terrible at math. So why did we go to law school? Well, the answer is different for each of us, but what it all boils down to is that we each saw a change in our world that needed to be made and decided that armed with a legal education, we were the ones to go out and do it. Whether the change was the amount of greenhouse gases allowed in our atmosphere, the amount of racial prejudice in our courtrooms, or the amount of times we watched a congressional hearing on CNN and thought, okay, even I could do better than that. We all ignored the blogs and the articles and the uncles telling us we were making a huge mistake, and we came to law school. Now that in itself is pretty impressive. We live in a world where activism is done with a tweet, where political views are most readily advocated for in grammatically incorrect Facebook posts, and where bad news is thrown at us so often that it's easy to just zone out and binge watch Netflix. Now, that's not to say we are above all these things. I'm actually live tweeting this right now. It's just that we took it a step further, and a big step. Because law school isn't easy. And I don't mean that we had to read a lot. Yes, that's true, law students read. But we all decided to put our lives on hold. We all gave 3 years, and not to mention a couple dollars, to learn, to become better citizens, and to gain the tools we need to make the changes we want. What a bold and optimistic move we made just by showing up here that 3rd week of August in 2012. And maybe it was because we all had that in common, or maybe we just got lucky, but once we were here, it didn't take long for the class of 2015 to become a cohesive unit. That first week, we were defined by our differences. Blue section, yellow section, the best section, green section. Married, not married, in-state, out-of-state, K through JD, older students who got K through JD folks 12. Here for environmental law, the 3 of you that weren't here for environmental law. Differences were everywhere. But they all dissipated quickly, and soon we all just kind of had each other's back. We were the opposite of the cutthroat law students we've been warned about. All 3 years, the class of 2015 had a team mentality. You know, like when everyone supports the quarterback so you can get a home run. I promised Max I'd put in a sports reference. Now, while I was always really grateful for this about us, I never realized just how extraordinary it made us until I started asking the faculty what they thought of us. Would anything about the class of 2015 be remembered once we were gone? Dean Moffat said, "I wish I had better words for this, but the class of 2015 is kind. Kind to each other, kind to the faculty. That word sounds unsubstantial, but it's what I keep coming back to. Think of something better for your speech." And I get what he means. The word kind isn't usually used to describe powerhouse attorneys. It's more often used to describe ugly people that you went on a date with by accident. But there is power in kindness. In fact, when talking about this with our registrar, Sherry Snyder, she said, "You guys set the tone, because the classes coming up under you are following your example. We are all grateful." Now you can plug in any word you want, empowering, supportive, cooperative. The point is, things get done when people work together. Problems get solved when people with good ideas cooperate with other people with good ideas. And changes get made when people are empowered. We are all here today, dressed like rejects from a Harry Potter audition. Because we were there for each other. And there is nothing unsubstantial about that. Now, before Nicole rips me off this stage, I would just also like to address the other people in this room who saw us through. To our moms and dads, our sisters and brothers, our husbands and wives, our boyfriends and girlfriends, our best friends, our Facebook friends, our baristas, and our bartenders. We thank you. I know I just spent 5 minutes up here talking about how great we all are, but I'm sure there were moments you questioned that. And perhaps even Googled how to put a 27-year-old up for adoption. So thank you for sticking it out with us. And thank you to my classmates. It has been an honor to learn with you and from you. Continue to be optimistic. Continue to be bold. Continue to be kind. And continue to lead. Congratulations to the class of 2015. You did it.